Ugh, I look like a mess. Anyway, I'm at the end of the workout and I'm gonna head to the bus stop soon. Uh, in today's workout, my brain was kind of scattered, still is, kind of really tired and sleep deprived. But I came up with some interesting exercises for mobility and arms and some chest back stuff. I'll leave timestamps to all of that below. I think there's some really interesting stuff that you guys will like. If this is your first time on the channel, subscribe, and if you like the video, like the video. Keep watching. It's been an exhausting week and an exhausting few days of workouts, and so today I'm kind of doing something light and easy on the mind. A good, nice arm workout, and probably gonna throw in some abs at the end. Starting off with the usual alternating tricep pushdowns to get a good pump going into the muscles, get a lot of blood flowing, get the mind muscle activation going. Going to bang out probably 8 to 10 sets of these. And superset them with some light alternating curls. Getting a pump and getting the blood going into the muscles. The music is loud as hell today, and it's going to be interesting yet again to see how editing turns out with all this music blaring. And since that's the case, I'll probably record only when I have things to say. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain to edit out portions in the middle where there's all this music, or there's like open space where I'm not talking, and then there's just a whole lot of music, and then YouTube will detect it as there's music, you're using someone else's music. Anyway, I'm gonna do about 8 sets of this and then move to something different. So for my second exercise, I decided to use a rope grip and alternate them on the cable machine. It allows me to get a full stretch on the long head of the tricep, and it also allows me to flex my wrists at the end, which gives a much deeper contraction and allows me to connect with the striations in the triceps more. Pretty much going to failure, or not failure, just going for a burn. Today, really, I'm not trying to overly tax my body. The past couple of days, the workouts have been pretty intense. And so today, I'm here kind of just to get movement in and get an overall calorie burn. Make sure I don't get fat. Making sure the food that I eat has a place to go. And I'm not just sitting at home getting tight and watching TV and feeling lazy. And then I'm keeping the second exercise the same, sticking with some form of alternating kettlebell curl. Again, the goal being not really to hit failure, so I'm going to probably stop at 10 to 12 reps. I like to have these high rep days where I'm just doing a bunch of reps of certain movements. It allows me to just focus on mind muscle contraction and not necessarily the weight involved in the movement. I find that having days like these translates into my regular lifting days. But yeah, I'm gonna do this for a bit and then we'll see. So for this next exercise, I'm doing a skull crusher variation, but on the cable. I like skull crushers, but they don't contract, or I like this uh, English. I like the tension that the cable gives me. So to keep the constant tension that the cable can give and keep the skull crusher motion that I like from dumbbells, I combine them to get the cable skull crusher, and using the rope handle allows me to do that thing where I can flex my wrist at the end and get that additional stretch that I like in the additional stretch and contraction that I like in the tricep. Also, since it's the cable machine and it's at an angle, when my triceps are fully stretched here, there's still tension, and the triceps never really go into a position where there's no resistance applied to it. So again, just going till I hit failure or close to it, using relatively light weight, focusing on getting a pump. Supersetting that with this exercise that I saw this guy on Instagram called Elasta Boy do. He said it was his like favorite mobility exercise, but I'm kind of doing a regressed version of it. So pretty much keep your hand out like you're doing chest flies, but then curl the hands in instead. Apparently it's good for opening up the upper chest area, which, I mean, I do feel like it's opening it up pretty good. So yeah, using a combination of mobility and bicep to superset with my tricep movement. Trying to take a deep breath when my hands are outstretched. To further exaggerate the stretch. That felt good. I'm gonna do a couple more sets of that. That will be my third exercise. Probably gonna do two more or three more arm things, and then abs. But yeah. I felt like taking a break from arms for a little bit to try out some back exercises that were on my mind when I started messing around with this setup. So what I came up with is this row using the rope. Having the chest supported forces the back to be isolated, so you can't use momentum to do the row, and you're really able to isolate the lats a lot better. Also with the rope grip, it forces your forearms to be a little bit more engaged, and also allows you to rotate at the wrist, giving you a little bit more stretch and a little bit more contraction at the end of each rep and at the beginning of each rep. I'm playing around with the tempo too, trying to do single, double, single, double. I also find like I'm able to mentally connect with my back muscles a lot more. I'm supersetting this with so one arm pullovers, but with the rope grip. With this, I'm able to focus on one serratus at a time, and this, unlike the dumbbell, gives you a constant tension. And I also find it to be a little bit more easy on the shoulder joints than a dumbbell. The dumbbell almost forces it down. This is like a gentle pull into position, and it feels a little bit more stable, or a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more stable, I guess is the right word, while performing this motion. And I'm able to recruit the serratus a lot better too. I'm trying to really focus on shoulder mobility and in my workouts, specifically my right shoulder. It's a lot stiffer. And performing this movement seems to be a good way for me to be able to isolate what's wrong with it. It is kind of a pain to get set up each set, but I think it's worth the sacrifice. There aren't a whole lot of exercises for the serratus that seem to allow you to get this full stretch, and so having this movement really seems to be worth the pain. And I'm tri-setting all of this with this fly, for all I can call it is an around the world fly, for lack of a better term. So I'm holding the rope grip in such a way that my palms are facing the ceiling, and it's kind of pulling my arms into, I don't know, like a jumping jack. And I'm kind of bringing it down like a jumping jack and going back up like a jumping jack. And what I'm really able to feel it here is in the outline of the chest. And it really seems to work on the shoulder mobility too. The same set of muscles that are usually tight on my right side seem to be activated and getting stretched. And I perform this movement. And going by the principle of getting stronger in stretched positions, or strengthening through lengthening, or whatever they say it is, seems to be a good exercise for that. But yeah, that's my second set of that. Doing one more set. Just thought I'd share a little bit of that. For the next exercise, I decided to do seal rows, but one arm at a time. Felt like keeping it going with, so I felt like my back was kind of getting into place with the mobility stuff that I was doing in the previous exercise. So I kind of wanted to keep at it while blood was still in the lats and try to, I don't know, I have this belief that if like things are falling into place, you kind of have to keep helping it into place, like striking iron while it's hot to keep molding it. I kind of think the body follows a similar principle, where if it's in a state of change, you're you're more likely to be able to change it further than bring it into a state of change once it's already set. So when I do mobility exercises, I feel like it's like warming up the iron, keeping it or changing the muscles into a state where it's moldable, and then using certain other movements to kind of hammer it into place. God, this feels a lot harder than it did last time. That's what she said. So after getting a good upper body session, it's time for some abs. For abs, I just like doing an assortment of random movements till I feel like my abs are exhausted. For today, I'm starting off with, I don't know, side bend crunches or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Going for 5 each side. I'm gonna do 2 more sets of this. And yeah, just keep cycling random movements. I'm just gonna do one long record and then edit out stuff in between. Oh. Oh. So here the serratus is stretched and my abs are stretched. And I'm kind of just coming up in like a dunking movement. Going for just 3 each side. It's a very taxing movement. But really helps stretch out today I can't speak and I'm so exhausted and my words keep like stuttering. So if the audio quality is poor, my bad. But the goal of this movement is to stretch the serratus and the abs at the same time and have those muscles work as a unit. Oh. Those grunts probably sound disgusting on microphone. One of the things you'll notice in like an aesthetic physique is that there seems to be this illusion of the serratus being connected into the abs, and I feel like doing exercises that involve the recruitment of both the serratus and the abs at the same time will help give that flowy look. So right now the serratus here is stretched while the abs are stretched, and when I pick it up I feel, oh shit. I just feel the whole system work together. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, that was pretty taxing. Now I'm gonna do some sit-ups with just one leg in at a time. It forces one side to work harder. Going for 4 each side. Getting really comfortable being in uncomfortable positions. Yeah. So every exercise I've been doing just 2 sets of it. This is the 3rd one. So yeah, I'll do one more set of that. So that was it for today's workout. Thought I'd end off with some posing. I thought I'd throw in some leg posing because I wear pants all the time. It's probably good to make it known that I actually have legs. Backs are looking really good.
a lot thicker, I think. This is one of my best poses, probably. And I'm starting to look really good. Abs are looking pretty shredded too. Do a full back. It's actually the smoothest back double bicep I've felt in a while. But yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next video.